In this lecture, we're going to take a look at installing Ruby on Rails on a Mac operating system. If you're on a Windows-based PC, then you can skip this video and watch the other video for Windows. We are going to use a handy tutorial service found online. It will get us up and running in no time. The website is called installrails.com, so you can go ahead and visit that. Once there, we will click on the Getting Started button and then choose the operating system, and in this case, it's going to be a Mac. The first thing we need to do on a Mac install is determine what operating system version you have. They have an example on how to determine this by looking under the Apple icon and clicking the About This Mac link. You will see the version under the Apple logo. Now that you know what version you're using, you can select the version button on the website. That takes us to the next step, which is checking that you have Xcode installed on your Mac. This can take a while if you don't have it already. The program is very handy for doing all kinds of computer programming, especially on a Mac, and it's pretty much required. So you might as well take the time now and install it. The item we are really after, though, is the command line tools, which comes with Xcode. Follow the steps on the website to make sure you have everything you need for this step. Like I said, it's very important not only for Ruby on Rails, but all programming on a Mac. In this step, we're going to need to find your terminal application. You can search for it or simply find it in the Applications folder under the Utilities folder. Once you have this open, it is recommended that you keep it in your dock, but that's up to you. We will be using it a lot in this course. After you have terminal open, you can move on to the next step. No need to do this little exercise they have there, but you can if you want. Next, we get a little more into the meat of the install. With some commands you will need to copy into terminal. You can select copy and paste, or if you feel ambitious, you can type it all out character by character. Oh, and by the way, Homebrew is a package manager for the Mac. And that is what we are doing right now, getting packages to install on your computer. On to the next step, where we'll be getting our package for Git. Git is a distributed version control system for our project code. We will also be using it to upload our code to the production servers. So it's very important that you have this on your machine. Once it's installed, we need to configure it with some basic information like your name and your email. Now on to Ruby. Mac already has a version of Ruby installed, but typically we want to have the latest version or a version of our choosing. So we want to use a tool called RVM, Ruby Version Manager. Again, in our terminal, you can enter in the commands listed on the web page and then hit enter to install this. Next up is the Rails framework. This is a simple thing to do, but it can take a long time. It's simply entering in one command into the command line, hitting enter, and then waiting for it to do all its little magic and install everything. So sometimes this can take maybe an hour, but it depends. So take a break maybe at this time, grab a coffee and do whatever you need to do. Now the next step is definitely optional, as it is for installing a text editor. You may have a text editor that you currently use, and if so, you can continue using that for the course. But just remember, this is not a word processor, it's a text editor. There is a difference. For writing code, you should use a program called a text editor specifically designed for writing code. I have used the Sublime text application in the past, and it is amazing, not to mention it's free. So if you choose to, you can use that text editor listed on the web page. For this course, I'm going to be using my preferred editor, Vim. This is already installed on your Mac, so just type VI or VIM in your terminal application and it will come up for you. To exit out of it, use :Q, enter, and that'll exit out of the Vim application and back to your command line. So that's all, folks. The next two steps on the website are about starting your first Rails project, but we'll cover that in much more detail in the live sessions of this course. So you can pat yourself on the back because you are done installing Ruby on Rails at this time. In the next lecture, I will discuss the text editor I will use in this course called Vim, so see you then.